All right, YouTube. So today we're going to be going over the best picks if you want to make money and not have a horrible life on UFC 300. Starting off with the prelims on the very first fight. Now, this fight card is very stacked, as you probably know by now. Davis and Figueiredo has no business being on the first fight, but we're here for it. We're getting into this fight, y'all. He pretty much, this is a guaranteed win. If you're a betting man, it only makes sense to go with Davis and Figueiredo. Cody Garbrandt just doesn't have it anymore. But he's not complete trash like most people think he is. His chin is really his only downfall. We know how skilled he is. We know he beat up Dominic Cruz and, had his little run a couple years ago. But he's just not that dude anymore. Figueiredo has a lot of momentum coming up. Figueiredo really, most of his problems were at 125. The fact that he's at 135 now and a lot healthier, a lot faster, still maintained his power. The odds themselves, you see that. I don't really see how Cody can win this fight. Unless he fluke KO someone or, just does something super weird that's not supposed to happen. There's no way he wins. Don't overthink it too much. Just go at Figueiredo. All right, now next up, we got Bobby Green and Jim Miller. Same thing, really. Jim Miller, he's not supposed to win. He's old. He's not complete trash. Bobby Green is a way more skilled fighter. No reason he should lose. He did just get the shit beat out of him like 3 months ago and took a lot of CTE. So there is a chance, he still hasn't recovered. I don't think anyone can recover. He probably lost like 11 years off of his life. But at the end of the day, he is a more skilled fighter than Jim Miller. He was in the rankings or still is in the rankings, I'm pretty sure. So, Bobby Green should get this one done, but don't count out Jim Miller. If there is anyone to stink up the show, it's Jim Miller. He's not trash at all. He's been knocking out dudes left and right. But yeah, pretty decent fight. I would definitely be excited for that one. Moving on, the most worthless fight on the card. We got Andrade versus Marina. And it's not worthless because they're women. It's just no one wants to see this. No one's interested. We don't care. I don't care. You don't care. But, it should still be fun. It's not a complete poop break. These are fun fighters, so Dana White knows what he's doing with that fight. But, in my prediction, Andrade should get it done. They're both brawlers. They both come out to fight and put on a show. They have no technique, and they're probably never going to be champ. Both getting a lot older. I know Andrade is 32. Marina's a little bit older, getting a lot older. It's really 50-50. But if I were to take a winner, I would probably go Andrade. She just should win, I think. I think she has the more experience, fought the better people. She fought like 5 times last year. Knocked out Mackenzie Dern, who's horrible at striking, but she still got it done. So do the right thing and go ahead and take Andrade. I don't see Marina. She can't win. I don't see her winning, but she should not win, I feel like. Moving on, we have probably the most, I guess, gapped fight on this card, besides the Bo Nickal coming up that we're going to speak about later. But we got Jalen Turner versus Ronaldo Moicano. Moicano, he's not a complete slouch, but Jalen Turner is just on a different level than him. He's the longest dude in the division, no Diddy, pause. Jalen Turner, 6'2", long wingspan. When I watch Jalen Turner, he really is elite. I'm looking at an elite striker. He is a weight bully. He has a hard time getting down there, so his cardio is a little weird. But he should still get this one done. Moicano, not horrible on the feet, but, he's just an overall well-rounded fighter. But his key to victory, he's going to get his shit knocked off if he doesn't come out and wrestle. He needs to take this fight to the ground as soon as possible, because if he stands up with Jalen Turner for probably more than 5 minutes, he's going to sleep. And he just doesn't stand a chance. He really needs to get this fight to the ground and try to submit or stink something up, wrestle his way to a decision. We've seen Jalen Turner back in the day with the Dan Hookers and the Gamrots and all this stuff, and he barely lost those fights. I thought he won against Gamrot. So he definitely showed he can, hang with the wrestlers and, the jiu-jitsu dudes. I believe Gamrot's a fraud, so I wouldn't look too much into that. I believe he's really not a threat to anyone. But yeah, Jalen Turner should get this one done. He's just the way more powerful fighter. No reason Moicano should win this one, honestly. I don't believe his jiu-jitsu is that high above to just take over and win this fight by decision or submission. I just don't see it happening. And that's it for the early prelims. So moving on to the featured prelim right here, we got Sadiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez and Sadiq, this is a very even fight. This is probably the most competitive fight on the entire card. I think they're neck and neck at each other. Diego, he's been on his run. Sadiq had a loss against Edson Barboza, but before that looked pretty good, has a lot of momentum. He's not really fighting really anyone. Like, he is a good fighter, but Diego Lopez is the better fighter in my opinion. I believe he's more dangerous. He's kind of like Charles Oliveira, but he's just not, fighting like, he's not Charles Oliveira, but he's Charles Oliveira. He's a featherweight Charles Oliveira. Like, he's gonna, in this fight, he's very dangerous if he gets the chance. Diego Lopez should win this fight. He's kind of is on a hype train, so don't be surprised, if he gets knocked out or anything. We have seen him test it, but we really haven't. He came in on short notice against Movsar Evloev, or whatever you pronounce his name. And good fight with him. Obviously that dude's a top 5 ranked fighter right now. So Diego clearly can hang with the best of the best. He should get this one done. I like his chances against Sadiq. I don't really see how he can lose unless, like I said, something fluky happens. I think he's just overall more dangerous overall. And a very controversial fight is next up. We got Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison coming over from PFL, Olympic, 2-time medalist, all that crazy stuff. I just, people, the odds on this one, Holly Holm, people think she's going to lose. She has nothing left in the tank. I kind of agree, but at the same time, Kayla Harrison is a weight bully. She's probably going to miss weight or kill herself to get down there to 135. She's been fighting at 175 her whole career. For her to come down 40 pounds when she already had trouble making 155 in the PFL and then beat up, one of the most overall fundamentally good strikers in the UFC women's history in Holly Holm. Also a good takedown defense. At such a low weight class, I don't really like her chances, but she should still win just because Holly is just overall not a threat. The only way Holly can win is going to a decision. And she won't win all 3 rounds. She could probably win 2 rounds if Kayla gasses out. That's her best bet. I think Kayla, even though she's a weight bully, if she has a good, roll back up to her natural weight after the weigh-ins, hydrates, eats good, feels good, she should easily beat Holly Holm just by stinky, dominant wrestling ground and pound decision. Possibly submit her. I don't really, Holly Holm I don't really see her getting submitted. Probably just beat up and just, wasting time on the ground. It's a women's fight, don't expect too much, but Kayla should get it done. She's a better fighter. But don't be surprised if Holly, kills a lot of your parlays. Now, moving on, we got Aljo versus Calvin. Aljo moving up to 145 after being champ at 135, getting knocked out by Sean. This is kind of, this is Aljamain's kryptonite right here. Only thing is, Calvin doesn't fight too rangy. I mean, he's a good fundamentally kickboxer with good takedown defense, very good takedown defense. But, Aljo is about as good as it gets. As you can see here, Calvin has 91% takedown D in his whole career, which is insane for being a ranked fighter, especially in his division. Now, he hasn't fought, and at the same time, he hasn't fought in a grappler like Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling is as good as a grappler as it gets. His accolades and stuff, that shit really doesn't matter. Yeah, he doesn't have the rest. He's not Bo Nickel or anything, but as you can see, if you have a brain, if you watch out, if he takes her back, you're in trouble. It doesn't matter who you are. He's probably one of the top submission threats in the UFC. Him, Charles Oliveira, a couple other people. If they get you in a bad position, you're probably not getting out of it. But I expect Aljo to come in here, have a pretty good debut. His striking is borderline horrendous. He has no power. If he stays up there, he's going to get his shit knocked out. I don't see it happening. But he's a smart dude. he's not an idiot. He did it with Sean. I don't know why he did it. And he did try to take him down. It just didn't work. Sean is way bigger than him. But Calvin, Calvin says 5'11". I don't believe it. Calvin's probably a glorified 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. It should be a pretty even fight. But don't be surprised if Calvin wins. It should be a pretty close fight. I would not bet on this fight because you just don't know how Aljo's going to look at 145. But he should get this one done by a decision. I'm thinking 29-28. Or, submit him. But like I said, Calvin's, I just see him getting laid on, like Aljamain does everybody. Just thinking to show up, getting booed, and just doing what it takes to win the fight. Now moving up, very, very, very exciting fight. The prelim headliner. We got Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. These two motherfuckers hate each other. They want to kill each other. Yuri hates this nigga's guts. Rakic, I think Rakic's just a troll, but it's a lot of animosity in this fight. Odds are pretty even. Really, this is another. All these fights are so competitive. Yuri, we seen him get hit a lot, chin exposed, coming off the loss from Pereira. Rakic blew out his knee against Zhang. He's been out, for, I think 2 years now. So same thing, Alex has looked good on the Alec has looked good on the pads, on his Instagram and all that shit. But at the same time, he's coming back to fight one of the most unorthodox, dangerous fighters in light heavyweight history in Yuri. You never know what Yuri's going to do. You can't really game plan for Yuri Prochazka. On the same time, Prochazka, Prochazka, he's fighting a fundamentally good guy in Rakic. He just has to take a lot of risk and just do what he does best. If he tries to play the Rakic game and, stay at distance, get picked off, get leg kicked, get high kicked, get jabbed, get 1-2 from a distance, he's going to lose very quickly. I'm not saying he's going to get knocked out. I don't think Rakic, he can knock him out, but he's just not that guy. But he's going to get, the shit beat out of him for a 30-27 if he does that and just wrestle. Rakic is smart. He does what it takes to win. But Yuri needs to stink this one up and make it ugly like he usually does. Make it fun. He's one of the most exciting fighters in UFC history. Yuri needs to do what he does best and take a lot of risk on Rakic. Do some crazy flying elbow shit. You know what Yuri does. Keep doing that. If he tries to switch shit up, he's going to get knocked out. He just can't hang with technical people. We've seen him get fucked up by everyone with a brain. Glover could have beat him, but he wanted to wrestle him. If you do what you're supposed to do, you can punish Yuri for his style. If Rakic can do that, he's going to win. If Yuri can cause hell in the octagon, he's going to win. And that's really all it comes down to. Would not bet on this fight. You just truly don't know what you're going to get out of that one. And now we have arrived to the main card, the most controversial fight on this entire card probably. We got Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage. Yeah, I said Cody Brundage. His whole career is a fluke. I don't think he's that good. His record looks nice, but at the same time, it's just really not. He got a couple hand-picked, cherry-picked robberies here and there. 10-5, not too good, but it looks okay. They're throwing him. A casual's gonna be like, okay, Brundage isn't too bad. Bo's not fighting the can. No, this is a glorified can. Bo should run through this dude. Bo is way better than him everywhere. But Cody's not complete trash, Cody he is capable of, winning this fight for sure. The odds are a little crazy just because it is Bo Nickal, and he's the fucking biggest hype train since Conor McGregor. But Bo Nickal's a good fighter. It's not his fault. It's really the UFC fan base and Dana White pushing him like that, the wrestling community as well. But Bo is a good fighter, and Bo should win this fight. As far as, Cody Brundage's, grappling skills and everything like that, his takedown defense is a 73. So it's not, too bad or anything. As you can see, he's just an overall okay fighter. He's not really good at anything. I see him probably getting knocked the fuck out or something, just crazy submission. Just ragdoll, really, Bo Nickal. He's really that dude when it comes to the grappling. Like, he's probably the most dominant since Khamzat in his prime before he sucked now. But Bo's like that. I don't see him losing this fight. Cody, if he doesn't knock him out in the first 3 minutes, he's done. He's just straight up done. He's just not going to win the fight straight up. He's going to get his shit knocked out or just submitted and choked. And just completely ragdolled for a decision or something. Bo should win this one. We all know that. That's why it shouldn't be on the main card. Anyways, moving on to the fight everyone wants to see right here for all the marbles for the next lightweight, title shot. We got Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. I was a big Arman hater when he came out. He did prove me wrong. I'm just sick of seeing the fucking, just the Dagestanis come out and just dominate, take over the UFC, beat all the fan favorites. You know how it goes, but you got to respect it eventually. They're good at what they do. They're great fighters. But Charles, really, the odds, everyone loves to count out Charles, and I don't know why. They keep doing it here and there. You seen what happened when they both fought Beneil Dariush. Yeah, Arman smoked them faster, completely fucked them up in the first round. But, Charles, he really proved a lot that fight, and I think he really started Beneil's downfall. He warmed him up before Arman took him out. But getting on to this fight, You know, Armin, they're both fundamentally good fighters. You know, we know all about these dudes by now. Charles, the GOAT, you know, my lightweight GOAT. Don't care what you say, argue with me in the comments. You know, I think he's the most exciting and dangerous fighter in lightweight history. And as far as winning this fight, it's going to be an all-out war. You know, they all want all the marbles. Armin's going to try to take this to decision. We know Charles's fight game. You know, he's coming to crash out. He's coming to get this shit done in the first round or second. This isn't going to a decision at all. Either Charles is getting knocked out or he's knocking somebody out. We all know about Charles's skills. You know, he floored Gaethje. He's floored dudes who don't get floored. We know about his power and submission skills. I think the train goes on. I think it's not over for him yet. I think Armin, you know, he's young, so he'll bounce back, but I just think it's not his time yet. It could be very well, but I'm going to rock with Charles Oliveira getting this one done by a second round TKO. We seen Armin get hurt by that one fucking random Joaquim or something, I don't know, like a year ago. If you're getting rocked by him, Charles is putting you to sleep. It's just straight up how it goes. Armin's been rocked a couple times in his fights. Good wrestler, but even on the wrestling, I don't think he has anything for Charles. I mean, he could probably fucking muscle in Islam on him and do an arm triangle, but I just don't see it happening. You know, we know Charles is comfortable on the ground. We're going to keep this one standing up, and I think, you know, Charles is going to floor him. I think he's too powerful, and his fight style is just going to be too much. If he catches him, he's putting him out. Moving on to my favorite fight on the card, Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. So Max Holloway is moving up to 155. We don't know if he's staying there or anything, but you know, he's taking on Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, the vet, the big dog, coming off the head kick from Dustin Poirier. Good overall, great fighter. I think he's the best he's ever looked. And a lot of people hate on Justin, but I truly think Justin could beat Islam at the moment if he doesn't get wrestle fucked in the first round. I think Justin can. His takedown defense is great. You know, he fucked up Fazeev. We all know about Max. You know, Max, very odd career. Ruled his division for a minute. Alexander Volkanovski. He just took everything over. Took everything he worked for, honestly. But Max is a great fighter. You know, most people aren't going to beat Max Holloway in a fight. Last time we seen him at 155, he fought Dustin Poirier. He lost that one. Got fucked up really a little bit. They both were landing a lot of good stuff, but Dustin looked a lot more powerful. It was a long time ago. I think skill for skill, Max is really similar. I think he's a similar fighter, but I think physically he's a lot different. Not in a bad way. I think he's going to be, he took time to bulk up this time. Last time he was just a fat version of himself, you know, more fluffier version. So it should be a very competitive fight. My prediction is that I see Max, you know, doing his thing. Max is going to come out, try to get his decision win, throw a lot of volume, but, you know, still have a little bit of threat. He's never been knocked down in his career. I think if Justin cannot finish Max in this fight within the first, 15 minutes, so, just the third round, I think he's going to lose them last two regardless of what happens. I don't see Justin outlasting Max Holloway, the GOAT cardio king Max Holloway, in a 5-round fight. He needs to knock Max Holloway out for the first time in his career, knock him down, do something crazy in the first 10 minutes. Because we know Max Holloway is a demon as the fight goes on longer. He's going to outwork you, outstrike you, be precise, just do his thing. So Justin, I'm going to ride with my prediction for Justin Gaethje because I think it's the most logical. He's more powerful. He's very similar skill-wise. He's fundamentally good. He can't be taken down. I think he's going to land the harder shots. Max Holloway's going to probably land more, but just going to land more meaningful. And I think he should, my ultimate prediction, I think he's going to crack Max Holloway's chin and be the first person to knock him out. I think he's going to, set history with this one. Sucks for Max. I think he should fight Ilya. I don't know why he's even taking this fight, but it is what it is, bro. Should be entertaining. I think it's this amazing fight right here. It's probably going to be the fight of the night, most likely, if it goes to a decision. We got Zhang Weili and Xiaonan. I'm not going to spend too much time on this fight. Zhang Weili is straight up better. Xiaonan is not a can. She can knock Weili out. We know Weili got KO'd by a fluky head kick from Rose back in the day. But Weili is the ultimately better fighter. I think she's a lock. She's just the overall skill fighter. This is one of those fights to where, the champion should win unless some fluky shit happens, like a Leon Edward head kick or something. Xiaonan is not better than her anywhere. She probably has a little bit fundamentally better boxing, but yeah, Zhang Weili is more powerful. So I think she should get this one done, probably by a decision or a submission. I just don't see how Yan could win this fight. Zhang Weili has proved she has a good chin. It can sting. She stung with Amanda Lemos, you know, back in November in New York. So she's fought better strikers than Yan. So I don't see how she can lose to Yan. It just should not happen. There's no way it's going to happen. No way. Okay. Not spending too much time there. We already know that. Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Jamal, salty big boy Hill. Poetan Stoneface. Izzy Destroyer. Izzy the GOAT. The GOAT Alex Pereira right here. We know about him. Fan favorite. Knocking shit off the map. Left hooking niggas to hell. Alex Pereira. This nigga's unstoppable. He's my favorite fighter right now, probably. If he's not number one, he's top 2 or 3. I love seeing him fight. It's exciting. You know, he just does his thing. He's good at what he does. A lot of people thought he'd never get here with the wrestling deficiency, but he's still hanging on. I think when he fight Magomed, it's over. But as long as he fight people like Jamal Hill and Yuri and Izzy, he's going to fuck him up. It's just what it is, bro. He's just too good at what he does. You know, Glory kickboxing champ. You're not beating Alex Pereira in a kickboxing match. You need to wrestle, and that's just what it is. You need to wrestle him. You cannot hang with him on the feet. Jamal Hill, powerful, long, rangy, but he's just coming back too soon. You know, he just fucking, you know, broke his Achilles, whatever, tore his shit real bad. He only taking this fight because Dana hit him up with that money. You know, Jamal's a dependable dude, and I like Jamal. You know, I think I like to watch him fight. I like him as a person, but unfortunately, bro, he's just not beating Alex, and that's just all it is. It's just not happening. He's not beating Alex Pereira. It's just that simple. He's going to kick his leg to death and have him fucking limping. Alex Pereira has the best leg kicks in the UFC by far. It's not close. Or he's going to left hook him to hell. You know, Jamal's too open. And so is Alex. But I think Alex's chin is kind of overhated. A lot of people really don't know what they're talking about. You know, Alex got chin at 185. He's been looking good. He's open to get hit, I'll say that. But he's not just going out like fucking Cody Garbrandt. Like the dude, he is open. Well, that's just Alex's style. You know, he's a dude to where he's going to take that risk to knock you out before you get him. But it works for him. You know, it works very well. Don't expect to see too much grappling. It's just that's not what you're going to see. We're looking at a kickboxing match between Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira. Jamal has no chance. I hate to say it. I fuck with Jamal. He has no chance in this fight. Unless he lands some crazy shit down the middle. Once Alex realistically hits 5 leg kicks on this nigga, bro, he's done. It's done. Like, it's just straight up. He won't be able to walk. He already was having problems with leg kicks. You're fighting the best leg kicker in the UFC. Let alone the left hook and all of that shit. We know Alex is a good boxer and all of that. Once them kicks get to hitting Jamal, it's over. It's straight up over. There's nothing he could do about it. He's going down. But yeah, I see this fight, and I'm pretty sure we all can agree. If Jamal doesn't knock him out in a first round, kind of like on some Izzy fluky shit, he's going out. The leg kicks are going to add up, and his movement's going to be done, which is I think Jamal's best thing. His timing in and out, you know, his precision. Once that's gone and you get kind of more stationary, Alex is going to tee off on him. And I see Alex Pereira getting this one done by, I'm thinking second round TKO. I think he's going to add up, drop him, you know, ground and pound, stop the fight. And yeah, Alex moves on and probably loses his next fight against Magomed Ankalaev because that fucking Dagestani demon is just nothing you can do. That dude is too good. But this is the last, you know, dominant win of Alex Pereira's career, I think. So enjoy it. Make smart picks. You know, everything I've betted on today, or at least told you to do. I told you stay away from Aljo, all of those dudes. They're parlay killers. You don't know who's going to win. But I just don't see a way Jamal Hill beats Alex Pereira. You know, fights like this, fights like, you know, the other ones, you know, do the right thing. Just do the logical thing on these. Everything I told you should happen. If Jamal Hill fucking knocks out Alex Pereira coming off a fucking ACL, Achilles tear, and all of this bullshit, I'm done watching the sport. It just shouldn't happen. So yeah, Alex Pereira's knocking him out, and yeah, last fight of the card should be the best card if it adds up. You know, the fights plan out in UFC history. But yeah, that's about it.